This is the Red and Gold Fan Club from KPIX and CBS News Bay Area.
Hello, I'm Matt Lively, and welcome to the Red and Gold Fan Club. 49ers will play their first preseason opener this Saturday in Nashville, and the team is hard at work getting ready for the upcoming season. To celebrate the preseason, we've brought together these self-proclaimed super fans here in the Bay Area and beyond, even one fan from across the pond. Let's meet the fan club, starting with a familiar face, Antoine Brown from Los Angeles. Hello, Antoine. Welcome back, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the history with the team.
Hey, Matt. Thank you for having me, man. Good to see you again. I've been a 49er fan since the early 90s. Die hard, just rocking with the team through the ups and downs. Had a lot of ups lately. So die hard fan. Love the Niners. To the day I leave here, I'll be a Niner.
And I know it didn't end the way you wanted it to last year, Antoine, but what was your favorite memory from 2023 with the Niners?
It has to be the NFC Championship game. I mean, just the way it went, the range of emotions, thinking that we're probably going to lose to actually winning, and then going to the Super Bowl. I don't think it gets any better than that. Yeah. Other than winning the Super Bowl, obviously.
And that's the goal this year, no doubt about it. Well, thanks so much, Antoine. We'll check back with you in a second. We've also got Steph Sanchez. Steph's from Colorado, but visiting the Bay Area this week for training camp. And something you may not know about Steph, she does a killer Nick Bosa impression. Check this out.
All right, guys. It's the last speech of the season. Let's go, Bosa. It's been a pleasure to stand in front of you guys, every Saturday and be able to play alongside you guys every Sunday.
Nick, have you seen any of your pregame speeches posted by Steph Sanchez on Twitter and Instagram and stuff?
I have, yeah.
What's your thoughts on those?
I haven't watched one in a while, but she's got me pretty good. It kind of annoys me, but it's all in good fun.
Any potential collab in the future?
Possibly. We'll see.
Oh, my gosh. It's so good as someone who stands in that locker room all the time with Nick Bosa. Steph, you have it down perfectly. How did this start?
So actually it started the first year that Nick Bosa was a team captain, and I caught wind that he was doing speeches to the team on Saturdays. And I thought to myself, there's just no way this guy is doing speeches to the team. I kind of imagined what that would sound like. And so I just did one video, posted it on TikTok, not thinking it would be anything. And I mean, lo and behold, it's kind of blown up to what it is today. John Lynch has talked about it. Bosa's talked about it. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy to see.
I see it all the time on social media. You do him so well. It's awesome to see. I'll ask you, and maybe it was that clip from Super Bowl opening night, but what was your favorite memory from last season?
I'll have to say, actually, the lead up to the Super Bowl was actually hard to top, a pretty good highlight for me. But as a fan as well, I would say just like that 5-game win streak that they started the season off with was just elite vibes. And looking back and watching the Netflix show Receiver and just reflecting on those first 5 games, it was an electric feeling. They were just absolutely dominating. So I'd probably have to say that.
Well, if they do a Netflix show called Defensive End or Edge Rusher, I hope that Nick Bosa is in it, and I hope that you are a part of it. All right, thanks, Steph. Paul Hope joins us from Middlesbrough in the UK. Paul, you're the vice president of the 49ers Faithful Fan Chapter in the UK. Tell me, how did that all get started?
Yeah, so the NFL is a growing sport over the pond. I'm approximately 5,000 miles away from the Bay. I love all things Bay Area. As you can see from my background, I made the trip out last year with 40 of the 49er Faithful UK. We came out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, and we took over the fan chapter in the gold mine. And to actually see my team play live in Levi Stadium was something I didn't dream possible 12 years ago when I was flicking through the sports channels in the UK. And I came across this wonderful game of American football. I didn't understand what a first down was. I didn't know what it meant to sack the quarterback. And then you fast forward I'm connected to all the great guys that are joining me on the screen today. I'm plugged in. I don't do the Premier League. I don't do English football. I only do the San Francisco 49ers in the NFL. And like you said, the 49er faithful UK has just grown from strength to strength. We had Joe Staley join us in London last year for the official watch party. I would have thought that was going to be my memory, but I have to say making the trip out to Levi's last year was just unbelievable. So there you go. I'm Paul Hope, 49er faithful UK.
Oh, I bet that's a special moment. And since you already answered my follow-up to you, I'll ask you this. How many fans in the UK are like, no, we don't like our version of soccer, your version of football? How many are like, yeah, we're just watching the Niners? Are you the one and only?
We have 5,000 members in our group.
Wow.
The Super Bowl, the 49ers own Leeds United, and Leeds United were kind enough to open up their hospitality suite. So you had 500 diehard UK faithful from across all areas of England, Wales, Scotland. Some flew in from Denmark. So the Super Bowl for us starts at 11:30 at night and finishes at 4 or 5 in the morning. So to find a venue to watch live sport is pretty special when you're watching it with other Niners. And that's where our fan chapter has grown from strength to strength. We meet up several times during the year. We tend to have big watch parties. We've worked with Nick Clark. We've worked with the 49ers. Like I said, getting Joe Staley over last year, I think there was 700 of us in 2 venues at London. It actually sold out. So there was more 49ers fans in London that day, I think, than there was of any other NFL team. And I think the Ravens were playing the Titans that day at Tottenham Hotspur. So the fact that our watch party in a sports bar down the road kind of stole the thunder was pretty impressive.
That is absolutely incredible. All right. Thanks, Paul. Let's get to our final, last but not least, guest here on the fan club, Adrian Ibarra Jr. from Lathrop. And Adrian, tell us, how did you get started as a Niners fan?
Hi, thank you for having me. I grew up basically just loving the Niners. My dad was a season ticket holder growing up, so I was born and raised a Niner fan. Have a lot of memories at Candlestick Park. Fortunately for me, I became a season ticket holder myself in 2019, so I got to see all playoff games at Levi's so far. And it's kind of funny because I'm been a huge just football fan my whole life. My dad tells me, like, when I was little, instead of watching Barney and all that, I would watch. He had NFL Foley's and VHS tapes like that I would watch. And I remember watching Little Giants. That was like my favorite movie growing up. So I was just a huge football fan, but Niner fan in general. I was in red and gold since I was a baby. So
Born into it is what it sounds like. And you've got the man cave to prove that you are truly a 49er fan. Nobody has any doubts that you have fandom. What would you say your favorite memory from last season is?
I would definitely go with the NFC Championship game, just because the energy and the crowd was just, it was, at halftime, we're all down, and a lot of the Detroit fans were going crazy already, prematurely celebrating. And the second half, when we just came back and it was just electric, it was probably, I always tell everybody before that game that my best 49er football memory is probably the 2019 game in New Orleans. I was there, and I would always say that was the top memory that I can have. But last year's NFC Championship game really topped that, and I'm sticking with that as the best memory last year and as so far as well as a fan.
Yeah, it was a great game. That is awesome. All right, thanks everyone. Yeah. Still so much to talk about. Still ahead here on the Red and Gold Fan Club. Now that you've met the fans, we'll check in on how the team's looking after training camp and potential speculations.
This is the Red and Gold Fan Club from KPIX and CBS News Bay Area.
Welcome back to the Red and Gold Fan Club. We've met our super fans. Now it's time to talk Niners. Team's wrapping up training camp. How are we feeling heading into the preseason? Antoine, I'll start with you.
I'm feeling great. I mean, we have an amazing team. I personally believe we have a better team this year than we had last year. So I'm really looking forward to it. Just barring any injuries, keeping our fingers crossed, none of that happens. But if we go into the season healthy, looking at another deep playoff run, really excited. Training camp is getting started, and it's go time. We've been waiting for this.
Steph, expectations, and can Nick Bosa win Defensive Player of the Year this time around?
I think he definitely could. Now, I know Trent Williams hasn't been at training camp, but Nick looks great in training camp so far. I think the whole defense looks like they're poised to be a lot better than they were last year, and they're clicking on all cylinders so far. So I'm expecting that to show during the preseason games as well. And it's just great to know that, like, we don't have to have any questions about the quarterback position going into the preseason and going into the season. I think that changes everything for this offense, and they're going to hit the ground running again.
All right. And Paul, from across the pond, what are your expectations entering this season?
It's been great not to have a quarterback controversy, as Steph said there. Brock Purdy is coming to this training camp healthy. He's not been on a snap count. He's bulked up a little bit. He's happy off the field. And it's been great to see the competition across the board. The cornerbacks is an issue on 49ers Twitter, but at training camp, they've all stood out. They've all been pushing each other. Trent Williams, I'm not worried about. He could turn up the day before the first game of the season for me, and he's still going to plug in there and be the best offensive lineman. But I think, like the others, I'm excited to see what the defense does. I know Staley's been brought in. He's been working with the defensive backs quite highly, and I'm kind of want to see if he has that star player like he had when he was at the Rams. You know, Jalen Ramsey kind of moved around a little bit, and I think there's going to be a lot more focus on that back end, which will free up Steph's boy Bosa to become the Defensive Player of the Year. So the confidence is high on this side of the pond. We've still got all the key pieces. We had a top 3 offense last year. If the defense can match that this year and the offense can maintain, the sky's the limit for me.
Totally. And I like what you said. Renardo Green coming in through the draft, Malik Mustafa, and then you've got Demo and you've got Mooney Ward coming back. All right, Adrian, we'll end this question with you. Could the Niners finally hoist the Lombardi Trophy?
I believe so. It's a long season. I believe if they just, stick their head and go game by game, week by week, staying focused, and most importantly, staying healthy, I believe we have another great shot at this year. I hear a lot of great things with our defense playing really well in the training camp this season. And, our offense was, I say, dominant last year. So if we can just continue to build off that, I believe this is a great chance to host the Lombardi, finally getting the monkey off our back.
Agreed there. It's something Steve Young once said about winning a Super Bowl himself. We'll go in reverse order here. A lot of speculation on potential trades with this team. We don't know what's going to happen there, but I'll ask you this, and Adrian, we'll start with you. Which player excites you the most here in 2024?
I would say another year for the offense. So Brock Purdy and McCaffrey, those two just that get me most excited. I mean, we got weapons all over the offense. Just continue with all those players and with Kyle Shanahan's head and his brilliance at the offense. I believe our offense will be unstoppable again. It's just having our defensive, if they can improve, and it looks like they will with all these. We have great draft picks coming in as well. I think everybody will step up and do their jobs. And I'm looking more forward for the offense this year.
All right, it should be exciting. Kyle Shanahan's running it. He's an offensive mastermind. Paul, I heard something about you, being a part of 5,000 fantasy football teams. Which Niner do you want to draft?
Got to be CMC. He's number 1 on my draft board.
Yeah.
I have a few non-49ers fans who were all over that. It was a C- trade. What are the 49ers getting him for? He's got injury worries, health issues. And since he's come along, he's quickly overtaken George Kittle as my favourite player. I was rocking 23 at Levi's last year, and I'm not worried about the calf injury. I think it's just precaution. Shanahan said we weren't going to see much of him in the preseason games, but I'm excited for CMC. I think he's definitely going to have another stellar season, both running the ball and catching the ball.
Totally. And they need Trent Williams for that. Steph, I know you'll be watching for Nick Bosa in his press conferences to emulate. On the field, who are you most excited about?
I think this season, Diamador Lenore is going to put together an all-pro season. Like he's
All right.
probably going to be all-pro this year. That's just how it's looking in camp. He's been dominant so far. So I would say him, but I'm going to slip in a little extra one here as well, if I may. I'm going to say Dominic Pooney. I think he's going to be the starting right guard for this team this year.
I love it. You got to shout out the rookies when you can. He's getting a lot of time in training camp so far with some of the injuries. And then with Trent Williams being away, he has stepped right in to the first team reps. All right, Antoine, we'll end it with you. I know that you're going to be at the Rams game early on in this season. Who are you searching for on the field?
I'm hoping it's going to happen, but we don't know yet. But I'm waiting for my guy, Tyler Noah, to get healthy. I'm most excited about him on defense because, as we've seen, once he's available and when he's healthy, he's one of the best out there, and he's young, and he has a bright future. So I'm hoping he'll be ready for that game. But if not, just come back when you're ready. Don't rush it because we're going to need him. He's one of the best out there. We're going to be throwing them tees up all season.
Absolutely. When he comes back, that Niners secondary, really scary. All right, thanks, guys. Still ahead on the Red and Gold Fan Club. We'll ask the fans about the upcoming matchups and the path to win another Lombardi.
This is the Red and Gold Fan Club from KPIX and CBS News Bay Area.
Welcome back to the Red and Gold Fan Club. Time to break down the preseason matchups and beyond. All right, Antoine, I'm going to start with you. Which game are you most excited for this season, and how do the Niners get over that Super Bowl hump?
The game I'm going to be most excited for, I would like to say the Chiefs, but for me personally, that's a regular season game. If we beat them, it doesn't mean anything to me because we haven't beat them when it counted. So I'm most looking forward to the Cowboys game. It's always fun to beat them and make fun of them and look at the memes and them crying and things like that. So that's always fun. I'm looking forward to that game this year. Probably going to go. And I think the way we get over the hump is just once we have to stay consistent. Once we're in the Super Bowl and things get tight, we have to do the things that we've done to get there and not shy away from them and run the ball and just stuff it down their throats. And, I think this time around, the third time will be a charm. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I think George Kittle wore a couple of shirts that might be popular at that Cowboys game later on this season that he showed off in the end zone. All right, Steph, same question to you. The game that you're most looking forward to and how they get over the hump.
I'm definitely looking forward to that game against the Lions. It's going to be towards the end of the season, so it's very well possible you're going to be playing for some playoff seeding there. And I think the Lions are going to come into that game feeling like they need to get a monkey off of their back with the way that the season ended for them last year against the Niners. And so they're going to try to be getting some revenge. I think the 49ers are going to show them it wasn't just a fluke. It wasn't just a one-game thing, and they're going to beat them again at Levi's.
All right, that one's going to be exciting. All right, and we're moving on straight to Paul. I know you got to stay up late for some of these games, so I don't know if Sunday night or Monday Night Football is attractive to you, but which one are you most excited to watch?
I never miss a game, Matt. So prime time for us is 1 a.m., which means the games finish at 4:30, 5. So, but the game that stands out is the Kansas City Chiefs one, purely because the UK fan club of the Chiefs reached out a couple of weeks ago, and we're having a joint watch party with them up in Newcastle. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of gloating from the Chiefs fans, but I'm very confident that on that night we're going to be the ones singing loud and proud. So there's about 100 NFL fans in the northeast of England heading to a sports bar in Newcastle for the Chiefs game. So that's the one that I'm most looking forward to. And to answer your question about getting over the hump, I said it earlier, the defense needs to step up. We've been spoilt as 49ers fans having the elite defense in the NFL. And last year we didn't quite reach that standard. We struggled against the run. I think we were number 26 overall in EPA. But I'm confident with the changes we've made, with the changes at the coaching staff, the players we've brought in, that we're going to be better against the run. And if our defense can match our offense, then, as I said earlier, the sky's the limit. And number 6 is coming home, baby.
Yeah, new defensive coordinator and new personnel. It's going to be a new look defense for sure. And then finally, Adrian, same question to you. The game you're most excited for and how you get over the hump.
I would say as well, for me, it's going to be that NFC Championship rematch, and on the 30th, so right before New Year's. It's like week 16. It's towards the end of the season, so I feel like this is going to be maybe for, number 1 seed and playoff implications. And so there's going to be a lot on the line, a lot of Detroit. They're going to have, a lot of motion coming into this game, trying to get that revenge. But other than that game, I would say probably for me is the Cowboy game as well, because I do have a lot of family in Texas. So last year I had a few of my cousins fly out, and it's fun rivalry, and it was fun to like laugh in their face at Levi's. But those 2 games, definitely the Cowboys and the Lions, and as well as the Monday Night Football, the week 1 versus Aaron Rodgers. That's going to be a lot of fun too. Him coming in and not saying that we own him, but he hasn't had the best luck against us lately. So that's going to be a fun one as well.
Yeah, I don't think Aaron Rodgers enjoys when he sees the 49ers on the schedule. All right, thanks, guys. Still ahead on the Red and Gold Fan Club. We're looking ahead to a packed season for the 49ers. Let's see how we're feeling.
This is the Red and Gold Fan Club from KPIX and CBS News Bay Area.
Welcome back to the Red and Gold Fan Club. Let's go around the room here, guys. I know that this was a long offseason, longer than most because of how it ended last year. Antoine, how excited are you to just finally see some football?
I'm extremely excited. It's just, football, it's almost you become obsessed with winning. We've been winning so much and we get so close, and when you don't finish the job, it's like, of course you're upset, but you're eager to get back at it. I mean, I'm sure the players are just as eager. So I just think, going forward and looking forward to this season, we're going to run it back, and we're not going to have a Super Bowl hangover. We're going to be there again. I firmly believe that, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's the big question, Super Bowl hangover or not. Steph, how many times did you wake up this offseason and go, okay, is it August 10th yet? Is it the first day of preseason?
Yeah, this off season has felt particularly long for me. I don't know if it's just some of the contract drama that's been happening. I'm just ready to talk about actual football. Training camp has been the first step. That has been fun, but I'm ready for these preseason games, see how these roster battles shake out. And then I'm ready, of course, for week 1, especially with the way that the season ended for the 49ers. You got to shake that off, right? And that starts with week 1, just trying to get over that hump. So we'll see what the energy is like for that one. But I'm feeling pretty good about this team and them being able to just take it one day at a time, one game at a time, and just get back to the dance.
Paul, over across the pond, I mean, were there any UK people in general saying, hey, why don't you just watch some football with us? Why don't you just watch the Premier League while you wait for the Niners to come back?
I get it every day in the office at work. People can't understand why Monday Night Football for me against Aaron Rodgers will be 1 a.m. Tuesday morning. And as I said, it finishes at 5 and then I start work at 8:30. And I'll walk into the office bleary-eyed, singing and dancing because I know the Niners are going to win. But for me, this weekend's game is quite strange because August the 10th is my birthday, so I'll be 44.
Happy
on
birthday,
Saturday.
Paul.
So thank you very much. The 49ers giving me the best birthday present because we're playing football. But like Steph said, we've got a great team. The coaching staff's in place. I think people are spoilt being Niners fans because we've taken winning kind of for granted. I go back to the days where we had Brian Hoyer as our quarterback, and I remember getting up at 1 a.m. to watch us play against the Rams, and Hoyer threw a pick 6 after 37 seconds, and you knew we weren't winning the game. Yet I still stayed up till 5 a.m. to watch. So you fast forward now, when you look at the weapons we've got, you look at the scheme we've got, I think we win the division quite easily, which is key in football. You win your division, you know you go in the playoffs. And as the other guys have said, you then start looking at that seed and can we get that number 1 seed again? And then you start planning ahead. And if you were in my house now, Matt, you'd look at the calendar and you'd see all these random Tuesdays and Friday mornings planned off work because sometimes I do need a bit of a lie-in, so I do take the day off. But I'll never miss a game, guys. I'll be watching every single one with you.
That is true dedication. I love it. All right, and then Adrian, I'll ask you, how long have you had this one circled on the calendar coming up Saturday, and how are you planning to watch?
I'm going to be sitting there on the TV watching it. If it was this regular season game, I'd try to go out, make my way out to Tennessee. But I'm very excited for the season. I'm hoping, all us faithful come out, be super loud every Sunday, get Levi's rocking. It's just a great atmosphere. Having everybody out there. I know we're just a few fans, but we have a lot of great fans that I've got to meet throughout these last few years, and great people. I'm just all around excited for this whole season. I believe that we can make it all the way to the ship, do it again. Like he said, third time is the charm. So yeah, I'm very excited for this season. And I've been waiting for preseason for a while. I just slowly waiting, just let it, like, this offseason has felt forever. So finally this Saturday, getting to watch some preseason football, watching the guys on the rosters trying to make this team and prove themselves. It's always fun to watch. And just growing up playing football, I'm very proud of them and all the guys, how far along they've came. Even if, they don't make this 53-man roster, they're still showing off their skills and still in the league. So, it's fun for them as well. But yeah, all around, I'm excited for the season.
Well, there's a reason the Faithful is the best fan base in the National Football League. 4 great examples right here. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on the Red and Gold Fan Club. And as we've alluded to, the 49ers will play their first preseason opener this Saturday in Nashville against the Tennessee Titans. And you can watch all of the coverage right here on KPIX. That's it for the Red and Gold Fan Club. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you next time.